Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see how to store group of employee objects in an array list and how to display those employee objects details. Next, comparable, comparator, what is meant by generics. So let's start with the first one, how to store some group of employee objects in an array list. First, let me create a class called as employee. Class employee. Let me declare the attributes of an employee. Each and every employee contains employee ID, EID. Every employee contains the name of the type, string, salary of the type, float, salary, and mobile number of the type of float. Here let me write 4 parameterized constructor, employee, int EID, string name, float salary, long mobile number. So according to the scope, these variables EID, name, salary, mobile number are called as local variables. I want to assign these local variable values to this instance variable. Means I want to assign this EID, local variable EID value to this instance variable EID. So here the local and instance variable names are same. So we have to use a keyword called as this. Okay. So this is a keyword which is used to refer the current object, or we can say that if local and instance variable names are same, this is a keyword which is used to access the instance variable. This dot EID is equals to EID. In the same way, let me assign the remaining values. This dot name is equals to name. This dot salary is equals to salary. This dot mobile number is equals to mobile number. Let me write one more method called as void get employee details. Get employee details where it has to display the employee IDs. System dot out dot println EID subspace followed by name and followed by salary and mobile number right? Now let me write a class called as demo. Write the main method public static void main of string args. Here string args, let me save this program. Demo.java. Here let me create the employee object by passing the 4 values. Employee even is equals to new employee. Pass the values, that is employee ID, name, salary, and mobile number. Yes, one employee object has created, and in the same way, let me create the another employee object. Employee E2 equal to new employee 20, Rani 66,500, phone number. In the same way, let me create the 2 more objects. Triple fine. First, let me change the reference variable names E3 and this is E4. Okay. John 55,500. Let me change this value to triple H, and car. Let me change the value, that is 50. Employee IDs, these are the employee IDs, employee names, these are the salaries, and these are the mobile numbers. Okay, please let me change. Right, so here we created 4 employee objects. Now let me create the array list object. Array list AL is equals to new array list. Array list object is created. Right, so before using the array list, what we have to do, we have to import it, isn't it? So let's come here and import it. Import java.util.array list. Yes, it's imported. Now after creating this array list, what we have to do, we have to add the object. Which type of object we have to add? Employee object. So which method we have to use? Add method. al.add of E1. Okay, right. In the same way, let me add the remaining elements. al.add of E2, al.add of E3, al.add of E4. Okay, now let me try to display the size, how many number of employees are there. System.out.println number of employees is equals to, how many number of employees we have? Number of employees equals to, that is al dot, which method we have to use? Size method. Al dot size method. Al dot size method. Okay, now I want to up to now array list. So in the first video of the collection framework, I said that collections are used to store the data. Okay, so inside this array list, AL, what we are doing, we are storing the employee objects, and it is used to retrieve the data. So how to retrieve the data? So let me use a for each loop for object of obj, column, what is the array list name? AL. Okay, right. Now here first one, obj. This obj should be typecasted to the employee. It should be typecasted to the employee. So how can we convert? That is employee E is equals to employee typecasting to employee. Okay, so that object obj object is typecasting to the employee. Why? Because what type of objects we added into the array list? Employee objects. Okay, now by using this reference variable, let's invoke a method called as get employee details. Okay, let's save this program and compile it. Java C space demo.java util, L is missing, util, small mistake. Yes, now it's compiled successfully. Now let me run it. Java space dev. So number of employees equal to how many? 4 employees. Okay, so here you can observe here we added the object and we are trying to read the object. So here what type of loop it is? It is called as a for each loop. In EL, how many objects we have? 4 objects we have. First E1, E2, E3, E4. In the first iteration, the first one E1 will be stored inside the object. But what type of objects we stored inside the array list? Employee object. That's why this obj we are typecast into the employee. Okay, so by using this if, we are invoking a method called as get employee details. What it will display? Employee ID. So what is the employee ID? First employee ID, that is 100, Raju 78,500. Next second employee 20, Rani. Third employee 555, John. Next fourth employee 50 and Ka. Is it clear? So here in this example, we have seen how to store some group of employee objects in the array list. Okay. Now, what is my requirement is, so when we are trying to display those employee objects, so it is displaying in which order it has stored the elements. But my requirement is, now I want to display the objects of the employee based on the employee IDs. That is, based on the employee IDs, it has to display. So in the ascending order, first, so employee ID, which employee ID is less 20? First, it has to display this person employee details. Next one, next con information, con details, it has to display. Why? Because con employee ID is 50. Next employee ID 100 employee ID, it has to display. Last, it has to display the 555 employee IDs. That means here I want to perform the sorting on employee ID of employee class. Okay, so for that one, we have to use a interface called as comparable. Comparable is an interface that is presented in java.lang package. Okay, so comparable is used to apply the sorting technique. It is used to apply the sorting on any one of a data member. We can apply the sorting on any one of a data member at a time. Maybe we can apply the sorting technique on EID, our name, our salary, our mobile number. So let me show you that example. Okay, let me show you the example of comparable. This is example of comparable. Example on comparable. It's very important, comparable and comparator. Okay, so first, comparable, what I said, comparable is an interface. Okay, so our class should be implements from, our class should be implements from comparable interface. So this interface contains a method called as compare to method. So here inside this employee class, we have to provide the implementation to compare to method. So that is public. The return type of the method is int and method name is compare to. Okay, this compare to method is presented in comparable interface. Comparable is the interface which is presented in java.lang package. Okay, so here this method will take one parameter of the type object. Okay, object E. Now we have to provide the implementation to this method. Okay, this compare to method will compare the two objects, calling object and passed object will be compared. Based on that, it will return the integer value. So in this example, I want to apply the sorting technique on employee IDs. Okay, and employee IDs. Okay, right. The first one, what is the passing parameter? The passing parameter is E. Okay, so this E should be converted to the employee. Okay, let me do the typecasting. Employee E1 is equals to typecasting of employee of E. Now what we have to do? We have to compare the ID of E1 with the calling object of ID. So how to use the calling object of ID? Directly we can use ID. If ID of calling object is equals to ID of this E1 dot ID, that is passing object, E1 dot ID. If both are same, we have to return the 0. Else we can say else if ID is greater than, if this ID is greater than E1 dot ID, we have to return the positive value. Any positive value we can write it. Okay, yes, otherwise we have to return -1. Otherwise we have to return -1. Okay, now save it. Okay, save it. Let's come to this main method. So here objects are stored. Okay, now objects are stored. 4 objects are stored. Now what I want to do, I want to sort the elements. Based on employee IDs. So we have to invoke a method called as sort, which is available in collections. Collections dot sort of AL. So which objects I want to sort? The objects that are presented in the AL. Should be sorted. So whenever we call this sort method, what happens? So one second. Before using this collection, we have to import it. We have to import. Import java.util.collections. Right, save it. Now, this sort method, what it will do, it will sort the all the employee IDs based on the employee IDs. So for this, where we have written the logic, that logic we have written inside the comparative method. That logic we have written inside the comparative method. Now, after that, let me try to display the objects. So here let me write system.out.println sorting the objects. Sorry, sorting the employees based on EID. Sorting the employees based on EID. Save it. Sorry, cannot find ID. Where we have, why we have used ID? EID, na? EID. This is EID. Yes, this is not ID, na? Yes, compile successfully. Number of employees equal to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorting the employees based on employee IDs. You can observe here. First, it is displaying the employee details whose ID is less 20, next 50, next 100, next one is 555. You can observe here. This one 20, 50, 100, and 555. Now, if I want to display the employee details based on employee IDs in descending order. What we have to do, just we have to change the values like this. Here we have to give the -1 and here we have to give the +1. That's it. You can check it here. See, employee IDs 555, 100, 50, and 20. Okay, but I want to sort the elements. Sort the employee object based on the employee IDs in ascending order. So I use this return 1 and else return -1. Let me check it once again. Compile successfully and run it. So 20, 50, 100, and 555. Okay. So here what I said, whenever we are using this comparable, we can apply the sorting technique on only a single data member. Now, if I want to apply the sorting technique on name, is it possible? Not possible at the same time. Okay, by applying on the EID and ENAME, it is not possible. If I want to apply on name, then what we have to do is we have to keep this in the comment. Next, we have to override the comparative method. Okay, so let me show you that thing also. Now what I want to do is I want to sort the employee objects based on the names. I want to. Okay, what I want to do, same thing. This E should be converted to typecast to the even. Now I want to compare the names of calling object and this specified object. Okay, calling object and passed object. Okay, to compare the names, we can use a comparative method that is presented in the string class. So directly we can say that return name dot compare to, okay, the name that is presented in even. Okay, right. Save it. And here what I want to do is I want to display the names in descending order. So let me use a minus value here. Minus. Let's compile it and run it. See here. first Rani, Raju, Khan, and Jan. So employee names are displayed in the descending order. So here I want to tell you that by using the comparable, we can apply the sorting technique on only one data member at a time. If we move to the next one, comparator. Okay, so comparator is a interface. It is a interface that is presented in java.util package, which is used to apply the sorting technique on multiple data members at the same time. Multiple data members at the same time. So depending on the requirement, we will be selecting either comparable or comparator. So let me show you the example on comparator. So let me change the same program. So let me copy and so I will change this program. Example on, observe here. Example on comparator. Example on comparator. So let me make it as this is comparator demo. First, comparator demo. Let's save this program with the name comparator demo.java. Right, example on comparator. So as usual, so there is no need to implement. Okay, just we have to write a class called as employee. Okay, class called as employee ID, name, salary, and this is 4 parameters constructor, and we have to write the get details method. So here there is no need to implement any methods. Right. This is the employee class with 4 instance variables, 4 parameters constructor, and get employee details method. Get employee details method. Now I want to apply the sorting technique on employee ID. On employee ID, I want to write it. Okay. For each and every sorting technique, that means to apply the sorting technique on each and every data member, we have to write the separate class. If I want to apply the sorting technique on employee ID, we have to write the separate class. If I want to apply the sorting technique on the name of the employee, we have to write the another classes first. So here I want to apply the sorting technique on employee ID. So let me write ID comparator. Okay, ID comparator. So this comparator should be implements from. This should be implements from comparator. Implements from comparator. So implements from comparator. Comparator is an interface that is presented in util package. So before using that, what we have to do before using that, we have to import it. Before using that, we have to import it. That is, we have to import that comparator. So import java.util.comparator. Yes, imported. So comparator contains a method called as compare to. So we have to provide the implementation to. It contains a method called as only compare method. So we have to provide the implementation to compare method. So the access modifier is public and the return type is int. Method name is compare. Method name is compare. It will take 2 parameters of the type objects. Compare object O1 comma object O2. Object O1 comma object O2. Now what we have to do, this O1 and O2 should be converted to the employee. So employee E1 is equals to, let me typecast to the employee. Okay, employee, the first object that is O1 should be typecasted to the employee. In the same way, the second object O2 should be converted to or typecasted to employee E2. Now what we have to do, the employee IDs of this E1 and E2 should be compared. E1 and E2 should be compared. How to compare it? If E1 dot EID, if E1 dot EID is equals to E2 dot EID, can you guess which value we have to return? Yes, exactly. Return 0. Return 0. Okay, return 0. else if even.id greater than even.id greater than e2.id, return the positive value, else return negative value, okay, save it. So here, as usual, four employee objects are created, and we store those employee objects. And we are displaying the size, and we are displaying the four employee details. Next, here. So whenever we are calling this sort method, collections.sort method. Now what I want to do, I want to sort the employee objects by based on employee ID. That logic in which class we have written inside the ID comparator. In the second parameter, pass the object of ID comparator, that is new ID comparator. So now what it will do, now it will sort all the employee objects based on the employee IDs. Okay, sorting the employee names based on the employee IDs. Let's check it, is it working or not. So Java C comparator demo.java. Yes, compiled successfully. Let me run it. Number of employees sports 4. So in which order we store the elements? You can check it here. 120, 555, okay. Raju, Rani, John, Khan. Yes. Next, sorting the employees based on employee IDs 20, 50, 100, and 55. What is the employee name of employee ID 20? That is Rani. Yes, Rani. Name of the employee whose ID is 555 is John. Yes, it's working properly. Okay. Now, in the same program, I want to apply the sorting technique. On name of the employee. So at that time, is it necessary to make any changes to the code? No, just we have to extend the code. We have to write the one more comparator. Observe here, we have to write the one more comparator. That is, but whereas in comparable, if I want to apply the sorting technique on another data member, at that time we have to comment the previous comparative method, and we have to write another comparative method. But whereas here, what we are doing, we are keeping that previous class, that is ID comparator, as it is, and we are writing the new comparator. Okay, so let me give the comparator, any comparator name we can give it here. Here I want to give a name called as name comparator implements from comparator. So what we have to do here, we have to implement this comparative method, compare method. So as usual, we have the two objects called as O1 and O2. Those two objects should be typecasted to the employees. Okay, next, already we have written the code here. What is that? This thing. So return minus name dot compare to, what we have to do, just even dot, that is even dot name dot compare to e2 dot name. Okay, so here we are displaying the employee names on descending order. Okay, we are displaying the employee names in descending order, even dot name dot compare to e2 dot name. Okay, now if so here what we have to do, okay, so yeah, observe here. Now just I copy the same code I'm pasting here. Now here I want to sort the elements. Based on which data member? Based on the name. So let me pass the object of the name comparator, collections.sort of AL, based on which comparator we have to sort the elements by based on the name comparator, new of name comparator. So here system.out.println and sorting the employee names based on names. Sorting the employee names based on names in descending order. in descending order, okay, right, save it, comparator demo.java. So first the employee IDs in which order we stored 100, 20, 55. So later we are sorting the elements based on the employee IDs 20, 50 and this thing. So sorting the elements in which order, in descending order based on the name we are displaying. Okay, first one is in descending order. Is it working? Descending order. Yes, it is displaying the descending order. Next one is generics. Example on generics. So generics is a feature that was added in JDK 1.5 version onwards. So what is the use of this generics? If he uses the generics, there is no need of typecasting. There is no need of typecasting. Let me show you one example on this thing. Generics demo. Generics demo.java, right? So here let me create the object of array list. Before that let me import java.util.arraylist. Import java.util.arraylist. Yes, imported. Let me create the object of array list. Array list al is equals to new array list. Let me insert 10 integer numbers from 1 to 10. So let me write for loop for int I equals to 1 and I less than or equal to 10, and every time I value should be incremented. So let me add the elements by using al.add of 5. al.add of 5. So let me display this elements system.out.println of al. So all these 10 integer elements will be displayed. Now here what I want to do is I want to remove the odd numbers. Okay, so already we discussed about the cursors. So by using the iterator we can remove the objects. Let me use the concept called as iterator. Okay, let me use the concept called as iterator. So al dot iterator, so what it will return? Okay, what it will return? It will return the iterator. ITR is equals to okay. So this is a iterator that is presented in java.util.iterator. So before using this, let me import java.util.iterator. Okay, iterator ITR equal to al.iterator. Okay, next one, while ITR dot has next, while ITR dot has next, so it will check. Okay, what it will do? Iterator is a method. It will place this ITR before the first element. That means before the one it will place. Okay, so that means at the right hand side of the ITR, still there are 10 elements are there. What are they? 1, 2, 3. Okay, ITR dot as next. What it will check after ITR? That means at the right hand side of the ITR, is there any elements are there or not? Yes, we have the elements, so it will return the true. Now what I want to do? ITR dot next. ITR dot next. So next is a method of ITR. It will, what it will do? It will move this ITR position to the next element. Now ITR is pointing or referencing to the one, and that one will be the return, But the return type of this next method is object. Okay, the next method is object. Let me say object I equal to. Okay, let me save this program. Let's compile this. Java C generics demo.java. Okay, it's compiled successfully. Okay, so here what I want to do, I want to remove the odd numbers. So on the object type, can I apply the modulation operator? No, we cannot apply the modulation operator on the object type. We can apply the modulation, that is plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulation operator on integer itself. So here the return type of the next method is object. That's why I stored in the object. Okay. But I want to apply the modulation operator. Okay. So now what I want to do, I want to convert this particular object to the integer. Okay. So here I'm typecasting that in the object one, that object one to the integer. Object one to the integer. Now let me say integer I equal. Now I is a type of integer. Let me compile it. Yes, now it's compiled successful. Now I can apply the modulation on this I. Okay, if what I can say, if I modulation of 2, I modulation of 2 equals to 1. If I modulation of 2 equals to 1, what we want to do? I want to remove it. ITR dot remove. ITR dot remove it. So after coming from the outside of a while loop, once again I want to show. I want to display what are the elements that are presented in the array list. Initially, the array list contains the elements from 1 to 10. Generics demo. Compile successfully and run it. So initially it contains the integer numbers from 1 to 10. What we are doing, we are removing the odd numbers. So it contains only the even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. So every time what we are doing, we are reading the number and we are typecasting to the integer. Typecasting to the integer. We can say that it increases the pattern. Okay. Okay. Every time typecasting should be done. If you won't do the typecast, here, okay, if you apply this modulation on the object, it will generate the compilation error. Okay. To avoid that thing, they introduce the generics concept in JDK 1.5. So before, okay, just I'm copying the entire code. Okay, let me modify the code here only. So before creating the array list, we are going to inform what type of objects we are going to store inside the array list. Okay, so here I am saying that we are going to store the integers. Integer. Okay, array list integer. So inside this AL, what type of objects we can store? We can store only the integer objects. In the same way, whenever we are trying to retrieve the objects from the array list, it will return in the form of integers. At that time, there is no need to do the typecasting. Okay, at that time, there is no need to do the typecasting. Right. Let's come to here. AL.iterator. So here also what it has to return, it is returning the iterator of integer. Again, we have to specify the generics here. Which type of generics? It is a integer. Okay. ITR.hasNext. ITR.hasNext. Here there is no need to typecast. Okay. Automatically what it is returning? It is returning the integer. It is returning the integer. There is no need to typecast it. There is no need to typecast it. Okay, so let's compile and run it. So it contains only the even numbers. It contains only the even numbers. Is it clear? Right, thank you.